Now, that's the double stroke roll. Rudiment number 3 is the triple stroke roll. Amazingly similar, but now sort of an alley-oop-oop, where it's sort of a wrist and then 2 finger strokes. Okay, here again, if you want to develop finger control and sound quality and loose natural flow, the free stroke will get you there infinitely faster. Playing. That third stroke will not pop up unless you're playing it fast with a lot of kick from the fingers and your hand is totally loose, okay? So given you have enough rebound that the drum will send the stick up, take advantage of as much rebound as humanly possible. So, and incidentally, it is finger control. And quick side note, one day I was in a music store where I was teaching in Nashville, and somebody said, hey, check out this ride cymbal. I had something with my right hand, and they handed me something for the left. And I'm thinking, ooh, let me just shimmy it. Get to the right hand, and I thought, wait a minute, that's pretty lame. And so I put a ride cymbal to that side of my set, and for about a month, every practice session would sort of disintegrate into da-da-ding, 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 and then you hit that weird Zen state where it's perfect, and it feels too good to stop. So you do it for another 20 minutes, and suddenly the body has learned. So, and incidentally, French grip is the way to go for maximum finger control. So anyway, I'll do a little ride cymbal show, and you can see kind of the left hand is not nearly as inept as it used to be. Thank you. It's really effective at parties full of drummers. That never happened. So I'll do a triple stroke roll, slow, fast, slow. It's one of the hardest rudiments to get because it requires so much finger control, and finger control is the hardest thing to develop in your hands. When you go fast, you'll notice it sounds like a buzz roll because it is a buzz roll, and most buzz rolls are actually 3s, I think. So here we go. Okay, so there are your 3s. Something that most people can't quite do, and my left hand some days can't do unless it warms up for 40 minutes. So, next one on the list, number 4, is the buzz roll. The day I started drums in 4th grade, I got one of those Remo plastic tunable practice pads, and I was in the back seat of the car on the way home from the mall, and I played a buzz roll. So in a way, it's kind of the easiest thing you can possibly do, but then you can spend the rest of your entire life trying to do it better. Okay? So the hand motion there is simply a press roll. Okay? Has to be on the list. Ooh. All right, so number 5, moving right along, is the paradiddle. Now the accent tap element is what comes into play here. So now we're into the 4 basic strokes. The free stroke or full stroke, downstroke, tap, and upstroke. So this is kind of a sort of little kitty fix-me-all that I hear a lot of people use. All you need is 4 strokes, everything's that simple. Like if you play nice and slow, yes, that's correct. But you're gonna need a lot more tools than that if you wanna start moving some things. So, the paradiddle, the Cadets, that's an onomatopoeia for okay, a crucial skill. Incidentally, a quick tour of the grips. German is totally flat, and the stick tends to kick in. You have a pretty wide V. It's pretty good for wrist turn, although you start to get into some rotation, which can be disadvantageous. It's good for downstrokes because the palm of your hand is right on top of the stick where you can stop it, no problem. But the problem is it's really not good for finger control. because your fingers have a very small motion range and you're more into a compression motion with the fingers. Now, if you go all the way over, holding a stick in the same way, you bring in the V and rotate the vertical hands. Suddenly you're in French. French is fantastic for free strokes and finger control because you got a big range of motion. But it's not so good for downstrokes since there's nothing on top of the stick against which to stop it. Okay, so American grip in the middle gets the advantages of both without the maximum of either. So if I had to choose one grip, somebody put a gun to my head, I would choose American for the advantages of both. So it's another thing to think about as you teach and develop your own hands. American grip, there are a lot of advantages there that aren't in either side the other way. So anyway, back to the paradiddle. The downstroke, everybody knows you kind of squeeze into the palm to stop the stick. And yes, that's great. But what a lot of people miss is the thumb on top. If you borrow from the French grip element, suddenly you have a guardian on top of the stick to help push down on the front of it. So when you see people who can't play accent tap well and you have all this flop, right? The thumb is always down here where you got no gain. So by putting that there, you can guard the top, and you can play much better accent tap control. So the paradiddle, we've all probably done some exercise like so your hot cadets plays into all kinds of stuff. The paradiddle diddle, all those different patterns you're going to need. Even Swiss drag is going to come out of that. Right, we have a huckadick coming out of that. So I think that's a pretty clear one, right? Accent tap, huckadick motion coming out of that paradiddle. These are gateway rudiments that'll make a lot of other things also be really easy. Now, number 6, fittingly and oddly enough, I never even noticed, 6-stroke roll. This one brings forth the roll pumping motion with accents. So now that we've developed how to play a quick roll, we got. Now, just by maintaining that forearm pumping motion to make life easy, we can turn the wrist and play an accent on top of it. So if you can play a 6-stroke roll, then you can play an accent anywhere in a roll pattern. Right? No problem. So, number 7 on the list is the hand-to-hand flam, or just flam, okay? So a lot of people think, oh, cool, I got some really nice brace nut placement. How about the left? All right, sweet. What's next? Let's move on. Okay, but you're missing the boat of the hand motion that this is going to bring forth, okay? Now that we're in flam mode, there's a lot more stuff going on where a lot more notes need to be covered. So the main hand technique or hand motion we're going to extrapolate from this one is what I call the molar whip and flop, okay? So here we have, which is a very untraditional marching kind of thing to do. But anybody who knows how to play hand-to-hand flams can do it, okay? So here's what the hands are doing. Incidentally, what most people are gonna do is, oh man, I gotta get my hand-to-hand flams faster. Okay. Go do that for 5 hours a day, and in a month, you'll be able to go a little bit faster, okay? You need to practice the fast tempos technique slowly in order to train the body the motions required to play it, okay? So if you're smart about it, you're going to play this. Okay? And again, I'm barely holding onto the sticks, which is how you want to be as often as humanly possible. So if you do that for 10 minutes, you'll go, huh, that's pretty cool. Do that for 10 minutes. So you get better so much faster by practicing the smart ways, getting a lot of reps where you're perfectly comfortable playing perfectly the whole time, training the spinal cord. Probably doing shop work along with music, so you have more than a piku, piku, piku to entertain yourself. Okay? So here's a hand-to-hand flam, slow, fast, slow. And you'll see at first it's downstrokes and upstrokes, but I'll gradually morph into the molar technique. And I don't want to do a whole molar thing here. It's a whip stroke. That's basically the short of it. Okay? So here's what that'll look like. Hand-to-hand flam, right? Once you figure it out, it suddenly gets pretty easy. Let me have another on that if you don't mind. You can email me about that flat flam if you want to.